The thing about science and mathematics is it's fundamental to our understanding of how the world operates. It's also fundamental to our modern lives. I mean, everything around us, telecommunications, video games, cars, trains, aeroplanes, they're all based on mathematics, engineering, and the sciences. So it's an absolutely fundamental thing to be involved in terms of modern life. And it also allows you to get an insight into the way the world operates that is almost unique to people who study those disciplines. There's a sense of being able to understand the world, not just change it, but be able to understand the world in a rational way, whereas quite a lot of what we're exposed to is sort of rather polarised debate around issues. And when you study STEM subjects, you get away from that and you start to think, well, what's actually true, to the extent that we can agree on it because we can repeat the experiment or we can repeat the observation. And that's from my perspective, that's a really exciting thing, because it gets you away from the frustration of never quite knowing what's true. And you can find out what's true.
So why should you be a geologist? Well, I became a geologist actually just because I liked it. And when I talk to students and I say, why are you studying geology? Almost all of them say, because it's a subject that I really like. And I think that's a jolly good reason to go and do something. And I think geology is I always feel really privileged studying geology, because what geology means is that you're studying how our Earth actually works. And to understand that, you have to go back over the 4,600 million years of Earth's history. So many geologists are really mega historians. So you're a historian and you're a detective. So you pick up a rock that when you first start may look like a really boring brown rock, and most people would just walk straight over it and have no interest at all. But once you've learned some geology and you know the skills, you might pick up that rock and you can learn what animals were living 300 million years ago. Were there dinosaurs around at that time? What was the climate like? Was there CO2 in the atmosphere or not? A lot of the lessons that we can learn from geology are very important in understanding issues now, such as climate change and things that we need to understand right now in Earth's history. So as a geologist, you may go back over millions of years, and then you might be looking at very contemporary issues as well.
There was a reason that I started doing physics rather than biology or chemistry or maths. And it came down to a moment when I was, I don't know, about 14 or 15, and I was going to all of these physics and biology and chemistry lessons, and the teachers were delivering this amazing science at me. But then there was a point, there was like a tipping point at which I thought, what is the science? For me personally, what is the science? Maths, you need in every science. Biology describes the living world around us. Chemistry describes the science of how materials work in a way. But I thought, what describes everything? And it was physics, and it is physics. Physics is, for me personally, at the center of the universe, from the cosmologically large to the subatomically small. Everything in between can be described fundamentally by physics. And again, for me, rather selfishly, physics is at the center of biology. It's at the center of chemistry. And maths, of course, a student needs to help understand and help to process the ideas. So for me personally, physics is the center of everything. All sciences lead to physics.
I first became interested in mathematics reading science books during GCSE and A-level. So I would read about chaos theory, I would read about quantum mechanics, I would read Richard Dawkins' books on evolutionary biology. And underpinning them all was this mathematical framework that meant we could describe with equations what was going on in these wide-ranging areas. And it was just those sparks of interest from across the sciences that made me realise that mathematics was something I wanted to understand more about and to study.
To choose engineering's a smart move, I think, because engineering is all about solving real-world problems and making the world a better place for everyone. And that's certainly why I got into engineering. Right now, there is a huge pull from UK industry, and in fact European and worldwide, a huge pull for talented young engineers. We are critically short, in the UK, we are critically short of engineers, young engineers. So doing engineering at university is a job for life and a ticket to work anywhere around the world doing a whole load of exciting things.
I think physics is a good choice, as is any science, because it enables you not just to learn about what interests you. So you might have interests in quantum mechanics, you might have interests in astronomy, but also you have to bear in mind the key skills that you're going to learn, the transferable skills that you're going to pick up during your time at studying at the university. So you find that most, if not all, university courses in science nowadays put a strong emphasis on things like teamwork and project work, and a lot of self-study as well to develop the kind of critical skills that you need to work on to put you in a good position so that when you go into some kind of industrial or academic research environment later, that you're well kitted out to take on a big piece of project work and be able to disseminate that to your bosses or people in the public who are interested in what you've done.